Hi there, it's Laura here from iHeartPlanners, and today I'm going to share my top time management tips for busy moms, and really they apply to just about anyone. And if you want some extra help getting organized, I highly recommend you sign up for my free course, Get Organized Once and For All. Be sure, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give this video a like. When it comes to time management and productivity, most people think of it as trying to get more done, and specifically more done in less time. While it is important to be efficient, and often we do need to get a lot done, it's less about that and more about getting the right stuff done. And I have actually found myself to be most productive when I'm doing less, but I'm doing the things that matter most. And to figure out what the right stuff is, I think you need to take a little bit of time, at least 30 minutes to an hour, sit down with your favorite beverage and take some time to write down the things that make you happy, the things that make you sad, the hopes and dreams you have for yourself. We have, in the beginning of our Sweet Life Planner, we have a goal setting mini workbook where we walk you through different ideas to get you thinking about what your goals are. So that's the first place to start when it comes to productivity, to make sure you're doing things that really make a difference. When it comes to productivity, it's not about what you start, it's about what you finish. And this concept has been a game changer for me because I'm someone who has a lot of different interests and I kind of love to start things. So I'll go off and I'll start a project and I won't finish it and I'll start something else and I'll start something else. And that's really a productivity killer because now I have so many half-finished projects, but I don't really usually get to enjoy them until they're done. So we need to work on finishing projects, not just starting them. And one way to do this is to create a rule where you must finish one project before you begin another. So this would be specifically true in one category or area. So perhaps you can only finish one project in your hobby before you begin another. So if you like to sew, don't start 12 sewing projects. You can't start another until you finish this one. Or if you love to create scrapbooks, don't start a new one until you've finished the one that you're working on. Another way of looking at this that is very helpful is to realize that it's better to have one or two things that are done than 18 things that are started and not done. And I think sometimes we start things because we get stuck on one project and we don't know where to go, and so we just switch gears to something else. Or we feel like we're accomplishing something by starting things. So there's a lot of activity going on. We've got a lot of things going on and it makes us feel more productive, but that's a false sense of productivity. So we need to work on finishing the projects that we begin. Another concept that goes really well with this is anytime you add something to your schedule, whether it's a habit, a commitment, something else is going to go. Now, this is going to happen whether you're intentional about it or not. For example, if you sign up for a weekly yoga class that takes you 2 hours, there is something else that you were doing in those 2 hours that you're no longer going to be doing. And our tendency is to want to do it all and not make that decision about what we're going to take out when we add something. So what that means is we still have to take something out. We don't get to decide intentionally. It just sort of happens. Whatever we run out of time for is what we don't get done. Instead, be intentional about it. Say, here's what's less important to me than the 2 hours of yoga. And it may be something like scrolling social media, watching TV. Those are some easy things that we realize we spend a lot of time on that may not be that important to us. So those are some good things to go. It may be that you realize, hey, I am cleaning my floors every other day and once a week is fine. So those are just some ideas of some things that you can remove, but every time you add something, consciously decide what you're going to remove. You may also find sometimes it means that you don't want to add that new thing. It's actually not a top priority, but it'll make you stop and think about it. And this is probably the most helpful piece of advice that I have specifically for moms. So as moms, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and there are a lot of interruptions. They need a lot of attention, and most of us, we don't even know if we're gonna get to sleep all night without being interrupted by a child, right? So one of the things that is so critical is anytime you do have that uninterrupted time, no matter how long it is or how frequently you get it, you need to treat it like gold. So if your kids are great sleepers and you know that every night from 8 to 10, after they go to bed, they're going to be in bed, you'll have your time, that's when you do the most critical things. Or if you have someone who's going to watch them every Saturday morning while you have 4 hours to do whatever you want, that's your time. Treat it like gold. And what I mean by that is, in those pockets of time that are truly uninterrupted, decide what it is you can't do with interruptions. So for example, if I have some uninterrupted time, what I'm not going to do is pick up my phone, start scrolling through Instagram, and respond to some comments, because that's something I can do without giving it 100% attention. I'm probably also not going to fold clothes or wash dishes, which is something I can easily, or sometimes less easily do, but I can do it with my kids around. But something like writing a blog post requires my full concentration, or paying bills. I really need to concentrate. I don't want to make a mistake there. Things like that. Sometimes my personal time with God, Bible reading and prayer, those can happen with my kids around, but sometimes it's really helpful to have that uninterrupted time, and it's important to use that uninterrupted time for things like that. So make sure that you think about your task in terms of, what on my list do I need uninterrupted time for, and what on my list can I do with some other things going on, and make sure when you get that time that you're only doing those tasks that can only be done in that time. And it could be that the most important thing for you right then is to take a nap. If so, great, do it. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just want to be intentional and recognize that you're doing the right things in those pockets of time. I hope these tips have really helped you think about managing your time better. And make sure, if you haven't already, that you sign up for our Get Organized Once and For All course. I think you're really gonna love it, and you're gonna find that it delivers great impact in a very small amount of time. And go ahead and let me know in the comments any time management tips that you have. I'm just gonna keep it real brief. I just tried to talk too much.
Do I know your ways?
If you add in, say, a new weekly session
of yoga.
I couldn't think of what session.